light of the time, I'm going to present you actually the same pitch as I did for this is my ISMB 2020 poster. So I also have the DOI here, it's an F1000, and there's also on the ISMB 2020 platform, there's also the MP4, so the spoken pitch, but you will have a live one today. So first of all, DTL has been focusing on data stewardship in the previous years, in the last years, but because I'm not sure that everybody knows what it is, I have put our definition here. So data stewardship is the responsible planning and executing of all actions on digital data before, during, and after a research project, with the aim of optimizing the usability, reusability, and reproducibility of the resulting data. And it's also often called data management, but we really like the wording of data stewardship, and also worldwide you can see this more and more coming. The point is that there is really a need in capacity building because there are not enough persons in these roles, like supporting scientists, for instance, the research data support desks for scientists. There are not enough people to man those service desks. There is no real consensus about the job descriptions. About the skills needed, also not about the HR profiles that organizations have. So it's also very difficult for organizations to hire them and for people to have a clear career path. And there is not or too little tailored education and training. So we have a project in the Netherlands in the context of the National Program Open Science. And I put a link to the project on the bottom. So, and I actually follow the blocks on the poster in this short pitch, so you can always find this easily back. So data stewardship essential. There is no consensus in the skills and responsibilities. Therefore, it poses a challenge to organizations. And what we think and what we're doing in the Netherlands is that it's really useful to do this on a national level. So to achieve endorsement of a set of competencies, of a curriculum, and so on. But that would help because otherwise every institute is solving it in their own way, and that is not efficient. So we have a project team. It consists of about 20 people from universities, UMCs, and universities of applied sciences. And what is also very good, I think, in the project, we have representatives of the umbrella organizations. So we have persons from the funders, ONMW. We have persons like the policy makers from the associations of universities, the associations of the UMCs, and the associations of the University of Applied Sciences. We have a PhD network representing like the researcher perspective, because of course the service, the research data support service is for the scientists, and also SURF, which is IT organization, because you also need infrastructure to put this all in place. And what we want to do is have some deliverables that then also really be implemented in the strategic plans of the umbrella organizations I just mentioned. We are building on 2 projects that took place in 2019 in the Netherlands. And the project reports I have linked on the bottom. And the left one was actually the project that I was also involved in. We kind of did an analysis of the data stewardship roles. We analyzed competence areas, and we put KSAs and learning objectives with Bloom's levels to all of these roles and tasks and things that data steward should do be able to do in our perspective. So if you're interested, you can go to that. You will find large matrices with skills and KSAs and learning objectives and so on. But this kind of set the scene and was complemented by another report in the Netherlands, what actually was a kind of landscape analysis about how Dutch institutions at the moment are organizing it. So it was really nice complementary, and we are building on this in the M+F. So with 2 objectives. The first one is really more the policy level, and I already touched on that, like working towards a national agreement on the highest level and like a coordination. So we would, that would be the best in our perspective. But we also wanted to produce something very tangible that people can use. So we are also working towards an overview of training, but not just a bullet list, but really annotated with the competency framework that we have. And that is also one of the objectives. The deliverables are listed here. We have 5 of them. But the first one is not so, yeah, it's not rocket science, because that's where we all explain our vocabulary, our scope, our target audiences, and so on. But the other ones are, we have a set about case studies for training and education in data stewardship. So an overview how the current organizations are training their data stewards. And of course, that will lead to best practices and so on, and to recommendations of how this could be taken to a national level. We have a group working on the deliverable and really making proposals for HR profiles, both for the universities, which is in our country called the UFO system, for the UMC system, which is called VUAVAS, and for the HACE system, which is the HR system for the University of Applied Sciences. So we will hand those over to them after the end of the project, and they can then start like a version 1 or version 1.0 or something, and they can work on it further. Then we are working on an inventory of training resources, as I just already mentioned. And we're also making a design for a tool where we can bring everything together, like the trainings, the competency framework, the linking, so that people can really go there and check, self-assess what their skills are and in which areas they might need training, and then be pointed to that. And we hope that when we have this design, then we can put it back to the NPOS, to the National Program Open Science Board, and they will take it further and put a program on it and build it. Here are our ambitions, but I think I already mentioned them during the talk. We want to get endorsements of all the national stakeholders. Our aim is really to build towards a national framework for both the competences and the training curriculum for the data stewards, and we are working on a tool. This is the full schema or infographic that we have, and I have here again put the DOI of the poster. And here are all the people. I will not go through them, but of course you realize that this is work of a lot of people, and I think it's always important to put them on the acknowledgement slides. So this was my presentation, and please don't hesitate to contact us if you're interested in data management, data stewardship training.